Welcome to the YouTube channel, Contact Center Knowledge Hub, your one-stop solution for expert guidance, best practices, and actionable knowledge in the world of contact centers. Explore, learn, and enhance contact center skills. Welcome to this section, where we'll explore the correlation between customer effort score and other critical call center metrics. CES doesn't exist in isolation. Changes in effort levels directly impact customer experience metrics like CSAT and NPS, operational measures like FCR, AHT, and call transfers, and even financial outcomes like churn, retention, and overall revenue growth. In this analysis, we'll break down how CES is linked across these dimensions, and more importantly, how improving CES creates a ripple effect, enhancing satisfaction, boosting efficiency, and protecting the bottom line. Think of CES as the connector metric. By lowering effort, we don't just improve one KPI, we drive improvements across the entire call center ecosystem. Let's begin the correlation analysis by looking at the relationship between customer effort score and customer satisfaction, or CSAT. The link is very clear. Lower effort leads to higher satisfaction. When customers can resolve their issues quickly, without repeating information or navigating unnecessary steps, they naturally rate the experience more positively. On the other hand, higher effort almost always drags satisfaction down, even when the issue itself is resolved. A customer might get the right answer in the end, but if they had to wait too long, transfer multiple times, or repeat their details, their satisfaction score will reflect that frustration. For example, when CES is at 6.2 out of 7, CSAT scores average around 92%. But when CES drops to 4.5 out of 7, CSAT falls significantly, down to 70%. This example highlights a key insight: customers don't just judge us on whether we solved their problem, but on how easy we made the journey. And that's why CES is such a powerful predictor of CSAT performance. Next, let's examine the connection between customer effort score and Net Promoter Score, or NPS. The correlation here is powerful. Lower effort leads directly to higher loyalty, which means more promoters and fewer detractors. When customers feel the process is smooth and simple, they're much more likely to recommend the brand to others. On the flip side, high-effort interactions increase churn risk. Even if the issue gets resolved, customers who feel the process was difficult are far less likely to recommend the company, and in many cases, may even consider switching to a competitor. For example, when CES is at 6.0, NPS sits around plus 50, which indicates strong advocacy. But when CES drops to 4.0, NPS falls to about plus 20, showing a much weaker loyalty base. This clearly demonstrates that CES is not only about making interactions easier, it's a direct driver of brand loyalty and long-term customer advocacy. Now let's look at the relationship between customer effort score and first call resolution, or FCR. The correlation is straightforward. Higher FCR drives higher CES. When customers can resolve their issue in a single interaction, they perceive the process as easy and efficient. The fewer times they have to reach out, the lower the effort. Conversely, low FCR means customers need to call back multiple times. Each repeat contact adds friction, increases frustration, and raises the perceived level of effort, which pulls CES down. For example, with FCR at 85%, CES is typically around 6.1 out of 7, which reflects an effortless experience. But when FCR drops to 60%, CES falls as well, down to about 4.8 out of 7. This shows how critical it is to not only resolve issues correctly, but to resolve them the first time. A strong FCR doesn't just improve efficiency, it directly enhances the customer's perception of effort and drives CES higher. Another important correlation to examine is between customer effort score and average handle time, or AHT. The relationship here is about balance. Very long AHT typically increases perceived effort because customers spend more time on the call than they expect to. This drags CES down, even if the issue is eventually resolved. However, it's also important to note that shorter isn't always better. If agents rush through calls just to keep handle time low, customers may leave without complete answers, which also increases effort later when they need to call back. The sweet spot is a balanced AHT, where the call is long enough to fully resolve the issue, but efficient enough to respect the customer's time. That's when CES scores rise. For example, at an AHT of 400 seconds, CES is around 6.0, which shows customers perceive the experience as smooth and efficient. But when AHT stretches to 700 seconds, CES drops significantly, down to about 4.5. This illustrates a key point: it's not about making calls shorter, it's about making them efficient and effective, which ultimately lowers effort and improves CES. Next, let's explore how service level and SLA compliance connect with customer effort score. The correlation is clear. Higher service levels and strong SLA compliance lead to shorter wait times and faster resolutions. When customers don't have to spend unnecessary time in queues, their perception of effort drops and CES rises. On the other hand, missed SLAs usually mean longer delays. Customers face extended queues, slower responses, and in many cases, escalations. This additional friction raises customer effort and pushes CES down. For example, when service level performance is at 85%, CES averages around 6.2, reflecting a smooth and efficient experience. But when SL drops to 60%, CES falls to about 4.9, showing how strongly customers feel the impact of longer waits. This reinforces a key principle: every minute of waiting adds to customer effort. By meeting or exceeding SLAs consistently, call centers not only protect compliance but also improve CES and customer loyalty at the same time. Another strong correlation to highlight is between customer effort score and call transfer rate, or CTR. The connection is straightforward: the more transfers a customer experiences, the higher their effort. Each handoff means they often have to repeat their details, re-explain the issue, and wait again for the next agent. This not only frustrates the customer but significantly lowers CES. On the other hand, fewer transfers create a smoother, more seamless experience. When customers reach the right agent the first time and that agent owns the issue end-to-end, the process feels effortless and CES scores rise. For example, when CTR is just 5%, CES is around 6.3, reflecting a very easy customer experience. But when CTR increases to 15%, CES drops to about 4.8, showing just how damaging transfers can be to effort perception. This makes one thing very clear: minimizing transfers is one of the most direct ways to improve CES and overall customer satisfaction. Finally, let's examine one of the most critical correlations: the link between customer effort score and customer retention or churn. The relationship couldn't be clearer. High effort experiences drive churn, while low effort experiences strengthen retention. When customers find it difficult to resolve issues, they lose trust in the brand and start exploring alternatives. But when interactions feel smooth and effortless, they're more likely to stay loyal and even make repeat purchases. For example, with CES at 6.1, retention rates are about 92%, showing that most customers remain committed to the company. But when CES drops to 4.7, retention falls dramatically to around 70%, highlighting just how costly high-effort interactions can be. This reinforces a powerful truth. Every added layer of effort isn't just a bad experience, it's a potential lost customer. By consistently lowering effort, call centers not only improve CES but also protect long-term revenue and loyalty. Thanks for watching my YouTube channel, Contact Center Knowledge Hub. If you found this helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more insights. See you in the next video.